Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome to part 11 of Yoshi's Island. Yes, we're halfway done. 30 levels complete, 30 levels to go. You might say it's not really halfway, because obviously the later levels are a lot harder and a lot longer in most cases. But at least level-wise we're halfway, video-wise we're halfway, because I'm going to do 3 levels per video, no matter what. Right. Favorite level of World 4 for me, Ride Like the Wind. 4-7. And it's mostly because of all these fast-moving platforms. Really like these. You've seen them in earlier levels, the platforms. They work on a color scheme. Green platforms move slowly, yellow ones move fast. Red ones move extremely fast. That's usually how you can keep them apart. And obviously this of course makes use of the red ones the most. Come on, give me your baby. I want your, let's call them boomerang eggs, because that's technically what they are. You've seen them in an earlier level, I think it was 3-3. Right, red coins and flower. Yeah, Shell already got it for me. Fortunately, the 1-up despawned. But go back once you get your stuff, because there is more here. If you watch over here, you'll find a jumpy block, which you can use to get to a bonus area. So might as well do that. This bonus area is optional. There's no flowers, no red coins, just regular coins and 1-up, I believe. Carried by a fly guy. Well, there is it, and I believe it's the only one. The rest is just coins. I haven't mentioned any other favorite levels from other worlds in the first 3. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because from World 1, 2 and 3 we haven't played my favorite level yet. In all 3 the cases, it's either the secret or the extra level that's my favorite level. And yes, that's the case again in World 5. It's mostly because of the challenges they provide. I really love the harder levels, as you may know. This game stays relatively easy. Yeah, you can go away. There's a middle ring coming up. Although I really love all these levels. The ones that really challenge you, in the most cases with a kind of gimmicky challenge, those are the ones I like the most. And it's usually the extra levels, because of being extra levels, they tend to be a little more challenging. Also, World 6. Yeah, World 6 I have questions about them, because I really like the extra level in World 6, but there's also one regular level I really like, so in that case I have kind of 2 I really like. I'll mention them when they come by, of course. Well, one I already mentioned. Right, popping balloons time. As you can see, the key was in the little alcove to the left. Come on, Yoshi. Need to get lucky here. Can be any one of them, and I win. This one I usually win. Don't know why. Because it's practically luck based. It's a little skill based, because the speed with which you get over to the balloons and ground pound them is a little bit skill based. Most of the red coins are in this little section over here. So you don't have to get scared if you are up to this point and see you have like only 7, I believe. Right, be careful here. You need to get off this platform onto here, because there's a flower here. And then safely drop down here for the next red platform. Here you really need to pay attention, because you need to jump off these platforms at the right time. And there we go. Not really that hard. A level that tickles my love for high speed a little bit. The whole reason I like F-Zero as much, high speed racer. Right, that leaves us only 3 levels to go in this world, 1 for now. The other 2 we're not doing yet. We do unlock the bonus game for this world. But we do not have to play that, we've already seen that. Castle time! Time to take on Hookbill the Koopa. His castle, I'm not the biggest fan of it, I don't dislike it either. I think this is the kind of castle you can quickly clear. But only takes you a while if you're going for everything. Because all the 100% stuff is kind of in side rooms. Let's just use a Koopa shell for this flower. Right, now we get introduced to these things. The ball and chains. You can't jump through them, so don't think you can jump over it. The chain also hurts you. You need to wait for the ghost shy guy to lift it up again and then take your chance before it falls down again. Right, 2 red coins over there, but you need to go down here anyway. Because there's 1 more red, or 2 more red coins here and a flower we need to get from this point. It's kind of a puzzle area, because you need to get all these staircases up in the right order in order to be able to reach the flower. Right, first make sure the right side is up, then go left and pick these 2. Red coins are over there. Come on, hurry up. Then make sure this one is up. Because we're going to have to want to have this one down, but if the other staircase isn't up, it will fall down too far, and this staircase won't form, so you do need to do it like this. This will access the flower. Don't worry about the stuff to the right, we'll be coming there in a minute. Because we're going to take another path which will take us there. Right, grab one of these Koopas and let it go down. Let it hit this staircase. There's no other way. As you can see, it's way too thin, this tunnel. You can't fit through there yourself. You cannot get your eggs through there. Koopa shell's the only way. Key over here. Required key. There's no mini games in castles. Come on, what are you thinking? Stars over here. And you can see, this is where we were. Right, now we need to go up here. Continuation is over there, but if you look up, you can... If you look closely, it's a little unclear, but there's a cracked block over here. And what do we have here? Hey, remember these guys from the fort? A little bit smaller this time around. There's no need for an actual repeat of the previous boss, come on. Oh, oops. Wanted to swallow you, I'll spit you back out. And this is all for a whole 1 red coin. Come on, Nintendo, you can put more stuff in here. Right, be careful here because instant death. You can jump for this, but I'm not taking any risks. You can also shoot your egg for red coins, of course. Because it's pretty hard to flutter back up if you mistime your jump. Right, new enemy over here. Fishing Lakitu. No problem. Dealt the same way a normal Lakitu is dealt with. He does tend to respawn quite quickly, so you do need to watch out even if you grab his cloud. Right. Final 2 flowers are both in here. For some reason. So don't get scared if you're only at 3 flowers at this point. I don't really understand why they couldn't find a better spot, because this is kind of a lazy hiding spot for them. Right, these blocks we've also seen in the fortress. You kind of want to be full on eggs here, because the boss kind of requires you to have full eggs. For most of the time. I think I do, yes. And I've got everything. Another thing about this castle, there is a middle ring, of course, before the boss, like every other one. But don't get scared if you see the red door over here, which usually indicates boss room. Because this is the only case where the middle ring, as you can see right here, is in the boss room and not before it. It's mostly because of, as you can see, it's quite a long trek before you actually get to the boss. One of the coolest bosses in this game. Mostly for being a Koopa Troopa, of course. Koopa Troopas are awesome. Yeah, if he would stay like this, he would be pretty easy. But no. Little Koopa, come through for me now. Go and rock Yoshi's world. Well, that's a different game, I think, Kamek. Alright, Hookbill the Koopa. How does this fight work? Well, like any normal turtle, his shell is way too hard. You can't damage him. But turtles do have a soft underbelly, so what do we want to do here? Is lure him to stand up. And then shoot him over. For him to land on his back, so we can ground pound his belly. I'm not really sure this rule applies to Koopas. Because I think their shells are hard as rock anyway. Even the bottom side of it. Because of how the shells tend to bounce around and everything. As you can see, if you miss your chance to knock him over, he will try to pound you. One way to prevent that from happening is to make sure you're a little bit away from him, because he tends to go for you once he's in range of you. If you're a little far behind him, he will first He will first run for you. And yeah, I got hit, so 100% is no longer possible. I need to die. See you back whenever I get him again, or get back to this point again. Right, as you can see, like I said in an earlier video, bosses get harder. So far, they've all been pushovers, cakewalks. Not that this guy is hard, even though the aiming here is quite hard to do, to be honest. Because you need to be very precise when knocking him over. But there are also some very sneaky points in where he can bounce up a little bit, as you saw happening. And this game is mean enough for it to decide that whenever he does something like that, as you can see him doing here, once he turns around, he makes a little hop. And the game considers that you being hit if you're on top of him at that point. Which I was, because I was trying to farm for eggs. For some reason this guy spits out eggs once you stand on top of him. So while doing that, you do need to be careful. Because if you're over his middle or go over it, as you can see, you might consider wanting to turn around, and that little hop he then makes counts as a hit. Next boss is going to be even more annoying, I think. In fact, only Raphael the Raven I consider an easy boss at this point. All the other ones are, although not hard, because once again there is not actually hard bosses in these games, or this game. But they do have these little trinkets in which you do have a little bit of a chance of getting hit at some point. And getting hit even once is enough for you to screw over your 100%, of course. Dying is never really an option here. That's not the kind of hard they are, but they can be a pain for your 100%. And once again, you cannot use your items in these bosses. Bosses lock you out of your items. Using red eggs is of course still an option to farm for stars once you get hit. However, I was out of my red eggs at that point. And I had no option of farming them, because that boss arena doesn't have any walls or ceilings for me to farm on red eggs, so I just gave up. As you can see, the middle ring saves all your progress. You start with 30 stars again. You keep all your coins, you keep all your flowers, so just try again if you fail. Right, now we enter my favorite world in this game. Go away. I don't like you. New variant of the Lakitus, by the way. These things throw fire. There's a couple of coins here, just regular coins. Go away. How many times do I have to tell you? Alright, not a new enemy, but these guys aren't that of a threat. Once you get near them, they start throwing balls at you. Spike balls, of course. The ones that hurt you. Right, what I was saying. Favorite world. World 5. Best levels in general. And the best aesthetic. I really like this ice theme it has going on. And the cloud theme in the second half of the world. But also just in general the most fun levels, I think. Does not have my favorite level in the entire game, one we haven't played yet. But it does have my second favorite level. Once again, one of the extra levels. Right, I do need to be careful of skipping red coins. Because I've noticed I'm playing the Game Boy Advance version and that one tends to have some of its red coins a little bit off screen. Because I don't play this game daily, I don't exactly remember where every single one of the red coins are, so I tend to forget one sometimes. I don't like it when it happens in these longer levels. Right, minigame time, that's where we brought the key. And it's my favorite one again. It's still the medium variant, like I said. There is going to be an even harder one than this. Not that it's really hard, but the button sequence just gets longer. It's not always about being fast in these cases. Sometimes going deliberately slow can also be a tactic. But going fast does mean less time the balloon is on you. So it does make the chance a little smaller of you losing. He screwed up. He screwed up again! He actually let me win here. I was waiting for it, oh, he's going to give it to me and I'm a goner. But he messed up. Thank you, Bandit. Second time I win this game. I don't believe that ever happened before. Me winning twice in one playthrough. This question mark block will hit this cloud... yeah, hit this cloud with an egg to morph into a helicopter. Find 5 red coins. Tripping over my words here. I was in my mind thinking it was going to say something, but it said something completely different. And those two things crossed together and I completely tripped over it. Sometimes just reading something can be really hard. As easy as it may be. Right, at least it's kind enough to tell how many red coins there are. Really appreciate that, because otherwise you might think you miss one, or 2, or 3, or all of them. Right, this should be all for here. But as you can see, we're moving into the mountains now. If you've been paying attention to the map, you might have noticed that the final castle of Yoshi's Island is on the top of Yoshi's Island. So we're climbing all the way up now. You know what mountains means. Especially if you go up mountains. It means cold. It means snow. It even means skiing. But more on that in the next video. Right. Middle ring in a very weird position here. And we get introduced to these guys. One of the more staple enemies in Yoshi's Island, the Bumpties. I don't have to explain what they do, their name says it all. They're not called Bumpties for nothing. They bump you around. As you can see, they cannot... Oh, he died. I'll use this one as an example. As you can see, they cannot hurt you, but they bounce you around. And trust me, that can kill you just as well, because maybe not so much here just yet, but they are going to get placed in annoying spots just over pits, trying to get you knocked into those pits. And yes, it will happen. Right. Now we're higher up. And as you can see, the snow has become more frequent. There's a watermelon hidden in this tree. As you can see, I have it now. I'm already full on stars. You. Bye. Watermelons make the piranha plants a joke. No, you're not leaving. Ring of coins. I don't know what it is. I can't really explain why, but I just like the snow and the ice in general. In most of the video games, it tends to be my favorite aesthetic. It just brings out the atmosphere the most. It happens to be Christmas time around now, so. I would like you to be in a position where I can knock you off, because you actually need to go up here. This is not just a bonus. As you can see, there are 2 coins here, and one of them is actually a red coin. And I may be wrong on this. You might be able to bounce off one of these bumpties somehow, but I think using that Lakitu's cloud is the only way to get up there. Right, hit this switch, because once again, red coins are going to be hidden here. You can of course always use throw your axe at them. How did I miss another red coin? Is this serious? Well, I'm going back then. Hey, guess what, guys? Look over here. The only pole I was sure of that did not contain a red coin. Guess what? It did. Alright, where were we? Oh, we can't have Treecks Let's Play Yoshi's Island video end off with me getting 100% in one go, now can't we? As per tradition, last level I'm going to play in a video, I miss a red coin. The worst part is I didn't have to miss it, because I was 100% sure that pole did not have a red coin. That's the whole reason I skipped it. Apparently it did. Why don't I remember that? Anyway, I'm going to get more fun from here on out. 3 levels coming up, I like all 3. Especially the one in between, the middle one. 5-3. That will be next time. Treecks out.